Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In the last video I posted on the cutting process of how to make this shirt and also did a little on the sewing process. So we're going to continue from where we stopped in the last video. So this is the armhole area of my shirt. I'm just gonna add to knot the center points, and I'd also gone ahead to knot the center point of my sleeve. I did that while I was cutting in the previous video. So on the sleeve we have a slashed part on one part of the sleeve, which is going to be towards the back side. So while placing my sleeve, I'm going to make sure that this open slit is towards the back side of my shirt. I hope you understand. So I'm going to just place the notch parts towards each other like this, just as you can see me do in this video, then extend my sleeve towards my armhole. So basically I'm going to be attaching this sleeve to my armhole. I'm also going to do the same thing on the other side as well. So after attaching my sleeve, this is what it looks like. So the next thing you want to do here is to connect the joining together like this. So at this point you want to be sure that your joining is properly aligned together. So what you can trim whatever excess you have, then pin your joinings together just like I am doing in this video. So once you're done with that, the next thing to do here will be to join from your sleeve towards the downside of your shirt. So for this I'm going to be sewing on an allowance of about 0.5 from my sleeve down to my waist area. So when I get to the downside of my shirt, I'm going to measure 8 inches away from the downside of my shirt, just as you can see. This is my slits allowance. The shirt is going to be having a slit, so I am creating an opening for that, which is 8 inches. So I'm just going to stitch and make a double reversal on this part. The next thing you're going to do is to make a fold on this slit area, just like you would normally do for a buba top or for a bubu gown slit, just like you normally do. So this is how I'm going to just make a fold around the slit area and turn it over to the other side as well. So I'm going to just repeat this same procedure on the other side of my shirt, just like I have shown you in this video. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. Next thing here is this slit piping. So this is my sleeve, and I already went ahead to cut out a straight piece of fabric, which the wideness was 1 inch. So I'm just going to be joining it on this slit area. So I'm making my slit straight and I'm joining it together with the little portion of fabric, which is what you can see me do on your screen. So this is what we have. So you can see that it is straight. So I just knot the center point, that's this point here, then I folded it on. I folded the piece of fabric on where I sew on. So I'm just going to be making a stitch on that as well. So while sewing it, I'm going to make my sleeve straight as well. I hope you understand. The way I did it previously, I made it straight, and this is just to ease your stitching. So I made it straight so that there won't be any form of folding and all of that. So I made it straight while I joined, just as you can see me do in this video. So after that, this is what we have. So the next thing you want to do is just to form a dart around the center point of this slit area. You want to make it more relaxed, so that is the essence of this little dart. So I'm just going to sew in on about 1/2 inch, just a little dart around here. So after infusing my dart, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to repeat the same procedure on the other side of my sleeve as well, and this is what we have. So for the sleeve band, I'm going to be working with 9 inches width, while I'm going to be working with 4.5 inches length. So I already went ahead to cut 2 pieces of this. So and I also went ahead to knot the center point. So I'm going to be folding a part of my band like this, just as illustrated in this video. Now if you're working with a very soft fabric, you may want to add a stay at this point, but because my fabric is already thick, I'm just going to be sewing it plainly like this. So I'm sewing an allowance of 0.5 on each side. So on one side I made a fold on it, just as you can see on your screen, and I also did the same thing on the other side as well. I made a fold on this other side as well, a fold of about 0.5 as well. Then I made a stitch on the side on an allowance of about 0.5. So after sewing, I went ahead to turn over my band to the right face, and this is what we have. So basically I'm going to sew from inward outward. So this is the inner part of my sleeve at the downside, so that is where I'm going to position this allowance here. The one I folded is going to be overlapped towards the right face of my sleeve. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to pin this part towards this area, just as you can see. Then the other part of my band, I'm going to also pin it towards the other slit of my down sleeve. I hope you understand. Just like I said in the previous video, a lot of things went wrong in this particular video, and so there were issues with capturing properly and all of that. But then I'll just try to explain to you as much as detailed as I can for the beginners we have in the house. So from this joining point here, I measured 2 inches before the starting of the slit. I hope you understand. I measured 2 inches. So after, away from the 2 inches, I started my pleating after the 2 inches, and I pleated a little within the allowance that was left. I hope you understand. So by the time I'm going to be done with the pleating and all of that, the pleating will be around the center point of my sleeve slit. I hope you understand. So this is me trying to just form my pleats, and this part is going to be laid on the band. The band is underneath while the pleating is above. If you do not understand, you want to go back to watch the video from the beginning so you can clearly understand what I'm trying to say. So this is the major bodies of the sleeve, which I'm positioning on the band, the part of the band that is not folded. So I'm going to just start my stitch from this point. Then I'm going to plait the rest of the sleeve towards the allowance of 2 inches I measured previously. So on the allowance of 2 inches I measured previously, I'm not going to be pleating on that part. I'm only going to stop my pleating around that side before the 2 inches allowance. I hope you understand. So the pleated, I already know the center point of my band, so I'm going to pleat around the knot part of my band. I hope you understand. So by the time I'm done pleating and all of that, everything will be at the center. So you can see that I didn't properly capture this area, and I feel so bad about it, to be honest. But then the video has been in my gallery, and I just thought to share because somehow I believe you would learn something from the video. So this might not be beginners friendly, and I sincerely apologize for that. So I'm just going to be pleating that towards this the 2 inches allowance I left behind. So once I'm done, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to fold the band on top of the major sleeve, the one I had pleated already. So I'm just going to fold it like this, just as you can see on your screen. So for you to have a proper control of your folding allowance, you can decide to use your iron to make the folds. So I'm just going to be making a straight stitch. I'm going to basically be top stitching on my band, just as you can see me do in this video. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So you can see that the pleating and all of that is towards the center point of my band. So I'm just going to top stitch on my band, just as seen in this video. So after this, I went ahead to repeat the same procedure on the other sleeve as well, and this is what we have. So you can see what we just achieved. So the next thing here is the collar, the neckline collar.
Hello, I'm super excited to announce to you that our online courses are now available. So if you are interested in learning more about streetwear, you want to know how to make t-shirts, joggers, hoodies, varsity jacket, tracksuits, sweatpants, cargo pants, and so many more, these courses are made for you. The courses are displayed on your screen. So if you are interested in registering for any of these courses, then you want to just click on the link underneath this video to register for these courses. And guys, guess what? These courses are well detailed. You're going to be learning how to identify fabrics, how to match make fabrics, size charts, measurements, and the like, depending on the course you are actually subscribing for. So you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So kindly click on the link in my bio. Kindly click on the link in the description to actually register for this class. Bye.
So what you're going to do here is to measure the circumference of your neckline. So you're going to start from your button allowance to the center point of your neckline. So whatever you have there will be multiplied by 2. So on my neckline here, what I have measured here is 9 inches. 9 inches, just as you can see. So multiply by 2 is 16, is 18 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead to draft that on a pattern paper. So for the base, I'm going to measure 9 inches there and mark that point there. Then for the length of the base, I'm going to be working with 1 inch. You can try to measure 1 inch, 1.5, depending on how high you want the base to be. So for this, I'm just going to be working with 1 inch, just as seen in this video. So after marking 1 inch, I'm just going to use my ruler to connect the dots together. So once I'm done with the base measurement, I'm going to go on with the collar fall measurement. So for the collar fall measurement, I'm going to work with 2 inches. You can decide to work with 2.5 or 3 inches, depending on how long you want the collar to be. But for me, I'm going to work with 2 inches because I'm working with a casual shirt. So I'm just going to mark that on different points, just as you can see me do right here. So from the start of my base here, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches and I'm going to mark that point here. So after that, you are going to connect the dots together, just as you can see me do on your screen. Then I'm going to be turning this over to also connect the straight line together. So the next thing I'm going to do is to give my collar fall a shape. So I'm just going to extend that by about 0.5. Then I'm going to blend it towards the base of my collar, just as you can see me do on your screen. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to connect it back to the rest of the line, just as you can see. So this is, I'm sorry you cannot see it properly, but this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to also curve the base of my collar at this point, just as illustrated. So the next thing I'm going to be doing here is to cut out what we have here. Another thing is you can also decide to make a curve around the center point of your collar fall, which automatically means you're going to be extending the length of your collar. So for a proper view, this is what I was trying to explain. So you can see that I extended the collar fall by about 0.5 just to give a curvy shape around the center point, and then I made a curve around the base area too, just as you can see on your screen. So I'm just going to cut out what we have sketched already. So after that, all you just need to do is place your fabric on a double fold and position your pattern paper on it. So the center point of the pattern paper is going to be on the folded part of my fabric. Then I'm also going to leave an allowance of sewing on every side of my collar, just as illustrated in this video. Next, after that, another thing we're going to be working with is this soft stay. We're going to be applying it on this collar, one part of this collar. So I'm using this soft stay because I don't want the collar to be too thick, and because the fabric is already thick on its own, so I just want something soft that can actually make my collar stay well. So that's why I'm using it. So I'm just going to go ahead to cut what we have here. Then I'm going to go ahead to also eat this up. So I'm already gonna add to eat this up. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to join it together with the other part of my collar, right face facing each other, just as I have shown you on the screen. Then I'm just going to pin it here and pin it on this other end. So on the part that has the stay, I made a fold and I'm just going to be sewing following the shape of my collar, sewing on an allowance of about 0.5. So on the other end as well, I'm going to also be folding to form a closure for my stitching. So once I'm done stitching, I'm just going to notch this part of my collar and also do the same thing on this other part here, then turn it over to the right face. So after turning it over, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to be attaching this to the neckline of my shirt. So from this neckline area, from my button allowance, I'm going to position this part of my collar around my neckline. So I'm going to pick it up from the part I didn't fold. I'm going to start my sewing from that point towards the other end. I'm sewing on an allowance of about 0.5. So once you're done sewing this, then the next thing you want to do here is to notch your neckline circumference, just like I am doing in this video. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to be folding my collar on my neckline circumference, just as you can see me do on your screen. So at this point, I realized that my collar base was actually very short, so I could have used like 1.5. So that's why I'm going to recommend that when you're trying yours, make sure you use 1.5 for your collar base. So I'm just going to be folding these as I sew. So the part I'm folding on is the part that has the stay, so it makes it easy for me to actually fold on. So after that, the next thing you want to do here is to top stitch on your collar line. So the next thing I'm going to do after that is to sew in between my collar base and my collar fall. Just make a straight line on it, just to differentiate that this is the collar base and this is the collar fall. So after fixing my collar, the next thing will be to go ahead to fold the downside of my shirt, and I'm just going to be sewing an allowance of about 1 inch, 1 inch 1.5, just as we measured. So after sewing, this is the final look. The next thing I'm just going to be doing here is to add my button to this, and I'm just going to go ahead to fix that outside. I'm going to be working with a press button to make my work easier. So yeah, that's all about this shirt tutorial. If you're yet to watch the previous video on the cutting process, you want to watch the video before this particular video. And if you want me to drop a tutorial on the trouser making, you can let me know in the comment section. Please do not forget to like this particular video, comment and share to your loved ones, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.